Hi, I'm Steve. This is my weight loss journey. So, here we are again. It's Friday the 9th of February, so that must mean it's weigh day. In spite of the weather suddenly getting colder this last week, I've made sure I'm keeping as active as I possibly can. On a recommendation from one of my friends from football, I've started doing the Couch to 5k. I'm only a week in so far, but so far so good. I'm still doing my daily steps up and down the stairs every hour of every day. Although admittedly I am taking a day off from that today just because I've already been for a jog this morning and I've got football tonight, so I am conscious of not wanting to burn myself out. Anyway, I weighed myself this morning and I am now 18 stone 13 pounds, which frustratingly is a pound up from last week. It's not a catastrophic weight gain, it's only a pound after all, but I was checking my progress earlier and I haven't actually made a loss in consecutive weeks since the middle of January, so I was kind of hoping to break that duck. Especially as I feel like I've been a little more restrained in my diet last week than I have been most previous weeks. But never mind. To be honest, it could just be down to not sleeping as well lately. My nearly 5-month-old son has been sleeping really well right from an early age, but the last week or so he's been going through some of a sleep regression, waking up a couple of times a night. And it really is surprising how much difference a decent night's sleep makes. I never would have thought much about it beforehand, but it really does seem to make a difference. So what I want to bring up this week is a general over-reliance on the body mass index for judging healthiness. Now as it happens, a number of politicians have suddenly brought it up anyway in the news, asking for the BMI to be scrapped. Now I've never been a big fan of BMI from the get-go for judging health. It's fine as a general guide, but it gets far too overused and it's far too black and white and oversimplified for the usage it gets. I remember a few years ago watching an old episode of Gladiators on repeat, and something that really astonished me is they used to have these statistics for the gladiators themselves on screen, and one of them was a guy called Rhino. That was his screen name, obviously. He was about 5'8" and weighed 17 stone, but he was built like a tank. And yet by BMI standards he would be officially classed as obese, because they don't take account of muscle mass or body types or anything like that. Obviously that's an extreme example, and I'm not about to claim that my excess weight is down to muscle mass, but it does illustrate just how oversimplified it is as a measure. The reason this is suddenly in the news, other than the politicians getting behind the call to scrap it, is because of how it affects people's mental health. There's a story I was reading on the BBC News about a girl who was seeking help for her weight, and she was denied it because her BMI wasn't low enough, which kind of defeats the object of getting help in the first place, surely. It's something that gets into my head on occasions. I'm well aware that I'm overweight, that's why I'm doing these videos in the first place. But according to the BMI, I'm not just overweight, I'm obese. And that's a very uncomfortable label to live with. To me, obese always felt like a stick to beat someone with. Not a label that's going to help anyone's self-esteem or inspire them to better themselves. I really hope the BMI is scrapped, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Anyway, that's all for this week. Like and subscribe if you absolutely insist, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully. Bye! I think that'll do.